Good morning. Today is Sunday, April the 6th, and I believe it's the 6th. Don't quote me on that, but it's 2020, and I wanted to give an update on our spring animal evolution here. We have our broilers, which are going on 3 weeks now, and our tractor out here, and they are growing good. Got about 5 more weeks on these Cornish X broilers. Got these from Valley Farms in Muscle Shoals, Alabama, and this is the 3rd or 4th consecutive batch of broilers that I've ordered from them, and they always have the best prices. Sometimes they have free shipping, and I've just been overall happy with the service, and they're close by. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, so the birds don't have to travel very far. Here they are at 3 weeks, and then also in here I have 7 of the chicks that my coaching hen hatched. I put some eggs under her from our layer flock, and which are a mixture of the Pioneers with black copper Morans, black Asterlorps, Americanas, and golden lace Wyandottes. And a couple of them ended up being roosters, I can tell already. And then she also hatched a few of the mottled Cochin and buff Cochin eggs that she had under her as well. So that there is our broilers and our grow outs from our first batch of broody hen chicks for the year, and they are in our A-frame chicken tractor that we built. Today we are actually going to be building another tractor for our ducks and turkeys, and just having an extra tractor around will help out. So this one is about 7 by 8 and has about 56 square feet, and it does 20 to 25 meat birds comfortably in here. Also use it for meat turkeys because we only do 2 or 3 of those at a time, and I also just do layers, pullets, and other grow outs in this pen as well, because I can move it around. But today we will be building another one, and I'll show you that once the construction is complete on that. So I will be doing a garden update in the next day or two, but right now I'm just going to show you what we got going on with our animals. Here is our Muscovy ducks. They'll be going into the tractor when we get it completed today or tomorrow. And as you can see, the latch on this one sticks. But you can see they are getting very big. They are 3.5 weeks, going on 3.5 weeks. They've grown a lot and starting to fill out quite a bit. I think that larger white one on the end is a male. I'm not sure about the others yet, but they are definitely growing fast, and they will be happy to get into the new tractor with a full-on swimming pool to swim in and get out of this little chick pen that I have here. And on to the rabbits. Well, I guess before I showed you the rabbits, I'll show you our bantams one more time. Not anything has changed with the bantams, just different ones are going broody here and there. Currently I have Old English game bantam, a couple Old English game bantam hens, and then I have mottled Cochins, and then mixed hens that are Old English game, Cochin Cross, and then I have a couple of pure Cochin hens in here and 2 roosters. And here is some of my layer flock. So I only have 8 hens right now. My Orpington hen got taken by a hawk, but right now my flock consists of this rooster, which is a Pioneer crossed with a black copper Moran that I grew on the farm from our foundational flock. I've got 2 black Astralorps that I added to the flock a couple years ago. 2 golden lace Wyandottes, and I have a Americana, and then an Americana black copper Moran cross hen right there that lays olive color eggs, that black hen right in the middle. And that's what we have for our layer flock right now. And this is the hen house that we keep our layer flock in, and then they have this huge run that we let them into whenever we're at home to run around in, that's fenced. It doesn't have a top. Here comes our other 2 hens. And I'm not sure if this hen right here is a barred rock or if she is just a one of our hatch out chicks that came out of a barred rock. But right now we have 8 laying large hens in my rooster, and then in the Bantam pen we have 8 Bantam hens and 2 roosters. So over to the rabbits, I'll show you. This was our first litter of rabbits. The daddy is a New Zealand white, which is my new fresh buck that I got, young fresh buck that I added to the program this year. And then the mama is a 2-year-old doe that has had a bunch of litters for me in the last couple years, at least probably 4. And she had our first box of babies with our new buck, and here they are. They're almost 3 weeks old, and you can see all the different colors representing all. There is a white, red-eyed white in there that is from the daddy's side of it, but all the rest of them represent the breeds that make up her, which is giant chinchillas, Flemish giants, and the black one is from the Rex blood that she has. I had a blue Rex for a while. And then there is just one that looks kind of like a Californian Altex, which is our old buck, which is her daddy, which was an Altex New Zealand white mix. So there's 9 babies in there. So that's our first little group of babies for 2020. And she had them all in the box and they all survived. And they're all doing great. Here's my new daddy. Moved him over here to give my does a little piece. He's a pure New Zealand white. And he has been a good, docile, sweet, calm male. And he came on the scene. Not really have been with does before, but he quickly figured it out and started putting babies on the ground. So I'll show you my other 2 does. Currently I have 1 buck and 3 does. The other 2 does are does that I kept back as my pick of the litter, so to speak. Does from last breeding season. And here I have this girl here, and she is a fresh doe born last summer, summer 2019. She pulled fur like she was bred and built a nest and did all that, but she never had babies. So I rebred her back to the buck at the end of March, around March 27th. So hopefully by April 27th, she'll give us some babies. So my other doe, which is also from the summer of 2019, has just yesterday given me 7 babies, and she pulled a lot of hair, made a good nest. I had been thinking that she was pregnant because she was really big and her stomach was getting really big. You can see the fur moving around in there. And so I've been keeping an eye on her, and then in the last week she started really building her a nest. With everything I put in here, I was putting her lots of stuff in here, and she was building a nest. So I was hoping that she was going to have a legit pregnancy, and she did. And I think there's 7 babies in the box, and there was 1 on the wire, so I don't know if she is, if it was, you know, stillborn and she threw it out, or if she just had it on the wire and it died. But in any case, I think she had 8, but 7 in the box that were alive. So for her first litter, I'm happy with that. She's been doing good. They're still alive and kicking and healthy. So yay, another litter on the ground for 2020. And I generally start breeding in October, but we were busy in October, and we still had a bunch left over from the previous, the summer. So once I started breeding in November, I realized that my old buck was too old and wasn't getting the job done anymore. So then I had to find a new buck. So right here, and this pen is a pretty good size pen. My husband built this for pheasants 6 years ago when we first moved to this property, and then he quickly got out of pheasants. They were just always escaping, or things were tearing into them and getting to them. So this pen is just used for grow outs or as an extra pen to put broody mamas in. And right now I have my pullets, my fresh pullets that I bought in January, in here growing out. So hopefully in the middle of May, 1st of June, I'll start getting some eggs from these girls, because I have more customers and more people that need eggs right now than I have, because I wasn't prepared to supply everyone with eggs. I only had enough for myself and a few extras for my neighbor. And what we have in here is 2 Rhode Island Reds, 2 Buff Orpingtons, 2 Barred Rocks, and 4 Americanas. So also in that box back there, I have a broody Bantam that is sitting on 9 runner duck eggs, Indian runner duck eggs that I purchased from eBay. And those are supposed to hatch around the 23rd of April. So I'm really excited. We haven't candled them or anything, and they are shipped eggs, but I have had a hen hatch out ducks for me successfully in the past. So I'm really excited to see how that goes with these duck eggs here. We like runner ducks. They're really good layers. They're really comical to look at, and they're real fun to have around. And I have tons of slugs and snails in my garden because I keep it mulched fairly well. And I'm excited to put some ducks in my garden to see if they can run around and eat a bunch of snails. My daughter has been gathering up cups full of snails out of my garden and dumping them into the Muscovy ducks little pool here. After we wash it out each day and put fresh water in there, she'll dump a couple of snails in there, and they just go crazy and gobble up all the snails, and we love watching them do that. And it really helps me because the snails eat my cabbage and they eat everything in there like crazy. That's one of the worst pests that I have is snails. So cabbage worms are another one but I haven't had that many cabbage worms so far this year, but the snails are like gangbusters in there right now. So I'll show you what's going on in the brooder because we got some new stuff. We're really excited about it. So in the garage brooder, we got some new little chickies. We went to Tractor Supply to pick up some wire for my new tractor that we're going to build today. And they had Freedom Rangers, and that's basically the same as the Pioneer chickens that we had from Murray McMurray that started our flock. So we got 6 of those so that we can add some more layers back to the flock. And what you don't know about the Red Rangers or the Pioneers or the Freedom Rangers is that they will actually grow up and be a very good dual purpose chicken. They will lay eggs. They'll usually lay huge double yolker eggs. They will forage quite vigorously, and they will avoid predators, and they'll even sit on their own eggs. So you can add Freedom Rangers to your flock as a dual purpose bird and add to your breeding program to have a homestead, sustainable, larger breasted, industrious chicken that lays really large, great tasting eggs. So we got 6 of the Freedom Rangers, and my son is actually planning on keeping all of the hens, and we're going to keep a couple of the roosters, and he's planning on breeding them, keeping them separate, some of them separate, and selling the eggs and hatching the eggs to procreate them. So that's his project, to create some homestead birds. Also picked up a couple of broad-breasted bronze turkeys. So I did order 10 broad-breasted bronze turkeys from Hoover Hatchery, which have free shipping for over $50 orders, I believe, right now. But they're supposed to be shipped to us on the 21st. I normally get my turkeys from the local feed store because they come in April, but I went ahead and ordered some because I had other folks that wanted them and they were cheaper from the hatchery. But when I went into the store and they had them, I went ahead and picked up 2 because you never know what's going to happen in this day and age right now with the virus and everything going around and businesses shutting down and transportation and all that stuff. I went ahead and got my 2 that we need for our purposes that we get every year, because a bird in the hand is better than 2 in the bush. So I don't have any problem getting all the extra ones that I've already got, or ending up with extras, because I have people contacting me all the time, every day, about getting chicks, broad-breasted turkeys, rabbits, everything. So definitely not worried about having extras, but I like the idea of at least having what I need and what I want in hand. So also in here we got 3 Turkins. The Turkins are straight run, and I love Turkins. We haven't had Turkins here on this farm. I haven't had them actually in many years, but the Turkins are chickens. They have naked necks, so they call them Turkins because they kind of look like a turkey, but they're actually excellent layers, and they lay huge eggs, a lot of double yolker eggs. So I got the Turkins to add to our flock for the egg quality and the big large egg capacity that they provide for eating eggs. And also picked up a couple of pullet astrolorps. They gave me a blue one and a black one, so we have a couple more astrolorps to add to our layer flock. So in all, we got 2 turkeys, 6 Freedom Rangers, 3 Turkins, and 2 astrolorps in here. And then my local feed store where I got the broad-breasted bronze, the day that I picked them up, they had ducklings, and I didn't even know they were going to get any ducklings in, but they had pecans and khaki Campbells, and these are the khaki Campbells. So the khaki Campbells are known to be a high production egg layer breed. Some people say they're dual purpose because they have more meat on their bones than, say, the runners, but not as much as the pecans, which are a real dual purpose. But I want them for their eggs. We have the Muscovies for the meat if we want meat. But I wanted egg laying ducks because we love duck eggs. And we love having ducks around, and they're just a very, very good homestead animal for pest control and eating bugs and slugs and snails. And they lay eggs like crazy, and they lay great tasting eggs. So we are so excited to have these khaki Campbells on the farm. And that wraps it up for the animals. Here we actually ordered a bunch of mealworms so that we can start a new mealworm farm as a supplement to our chickens and our ducks. In case the chicken feed shortage goes down, we'll have an extra source of protein for our chickens. We've grown mealworms a lot in the past. My son, when he was in elementary school, he actually taught a course in the science classes about about the life cycles of mealworms and how to start mealworm farms and all that stuff. So we used to have quail, and we also used to have a water dragon and chickens and bantams, and so we are not new to growing mealworms. So this is just something that we started to as a way to provide security for feed for our animals, which is security for feed for ourselves. So that's all we got going on with the animals, which is quite a lot of new stuff, but hope you enjoyed it. And in the next day or two, I'll be uploading the new tractor that we're going to build, and also showing you an update on the garden. Have a great day. Stay safe.